In this video, I am sharing Kimberly's success story of winning her battle over muscle tension dysphonia. Drawing from her inspiring journey, I will share 10 tips on how to navigate the process of muscle tension dysphonia treatment successfully. Stay tuned. Hi, I am Katarina, speech-language pathologist from How to Improve Singing, and here on this channel I share practical tips about using your voice in a healthy way. So if this is a topic that interests you, consider subscribing to this channel and hitting that bell notification icon so that you don't miss any of my future videos. Kimberly is a wonderful human being who allowed me to share her experiences and wisdom she has acquired throughout her battle with muscle tension dysphonia. I met Kimberly virtually when she joined my self-massage online training. Her positivity, enthusiasm, and determination has been so infectious that I asked her to share some details of her life with me. And with her consent, I want to share some highlights from her journey to a free voice with you. She was very generous with the details, several pages worth. So I will split the information into 2 videos. Along with her story, I will share 10 tips for anyone who is facing the diagnosis of muscle tension dysphonia. In this video, I am sharing the first 5 tips. Are you ready? Here is tip number 1. Don't despair, there is a solution. In one of my emails, I asked Kimberly, what would be one piece of advice to a person who just received the diagnosis of muscle tension dysphonia? I want to start my video with this wonderful answer. My one piece of advice is not to expect a quick fix, but to be patient and learn all you can about your voice and your circumstances so that you can make the lifestyle changes necessary to overcome MTD. It can get better if you do the work. Don't be discouraged. I will not lie to you. Muscle tension dysphonia is a complicated matter, and it will probably take time to find all your answers. But as Kimberly noted, MTD is not the worst thing. It can be debilitating and heartbreaking, and it is a real struggle. But after this journey of self-discovery, you will be a better person. You will know yourself better than you ever have. Keeping this positive message in mind, let's move on to tip number 2. Trust your instincts and get assessed as soon as possible. Kimberly first noticed voice problems about 3 years ago. Initially, her voice would get tired after singing worship sets in her church. She would experience vocal fatigue after 4 sets each Sunday, but her voice would get back to normal the next day. The symptoms got progressively worse, and after a year and a half of decline, Kimberly couldn't sing certain notes in her middle range, no matter how hard she tried. That's when she decided to find a solution for her vocal problems, but it took about a year until she got to see a voice specialist. And that's because she attributed her vocal issues to all kinds of medical problems. First, she thought her issues were the result of asthma, as her lung capacity was slowly declining. She had to breathe in more frequently during singing. She was seen by a pulmonologist, which is a specialist for lung problems, and undergone several exams, only to rule out pulmonary causes. Then she got checked by a gastroenterologist, specialist for digestive problems, who gave her proton pump inhibitors in order to see if acid reflux was at play. Unfortunately, there was no change in her voice. Then she visited an ENT who did simple laryngoscopy, but the results were negative. The ENT doctor told her, and I quote Kimberly, that her vocal cords were beautiful and nothing was wrong, and that it was probably all in her head. But Kimberly knew that it wasn't true. She had been singing her entire life and she knew that something was not right. Let's pause for a sec and let me explain what happened here. Muscle tension dysphonia, or MTD for short, is a voice disorder in the absence of other structural or neurological disorders. There are no structural findings or abnormalities on the vocal folds during a simple laryngoscopic exam. MTD is characterized by impaired function that can be only uncovered under a stroboscopic exam. Luckily, Kimberly trusted her instincts and continued her search for answers. It took a long time, but in the end, she was referred to the Vanderbilt Voice Clinic in Nashville. They did a stroboscopic examination and almost instantly diagnosed her with MTD. Kimberly finally had her answer, and it had a name: muscle tension dysphonia. But it also opened another bag of questions, and she was disappointed to find out that there was no quick fix. Tip number 3, improve your awareness. The key to vocal improvement is better awareness and becoming in tune with your body. This is a process. We take voice for granted until we lose it or we want to improve it. A therapist can tell you what exercises to do, what to avoid, and what to do more of, but it is really up to you to find those answers within your body. How does my voice feel right now? Is there tension? Where does the tension come from? What can I do to release it? These are just a few examples of questions that you learn to answer throughout the process of vocal rehabilitation. Kimberly said that she had to uncover the reasons causing her excessive muscle tension, and she was able to recognize that some of her troubles stemmed from poor posture, tongue retraction, forward jaw placement, and less than optimal breath support. She progressively addressed all of these contributing factors and became more aware of her body. Today, she recognizes tension quickly and knows exactly what to do to release it. Tip number 4, don't underestimate emotional health. Our voices are hugely affected by our emotions. Even if your voice is perfectly healthy, just imagine how your voice feels and sounds when you have to present in front of a big audience. When you are stressed, worried, or when you lack confidence, your throat feels tight, your voice lacks stability and predictability. For people who experience voice problems, and it can be any voice problem, not just MTD, worrying about vocal health and ability to communicate in everyday situations occurs daily. Therefore, dealing with one's emotions is a big part of the recovery journey from muscle tension dysphonia. Sometimes, consulting a specialist is necessary to deal with all of the emotional stresses of life. Kimberly found emotional strength in God. She said that her personal relationship with Jesus Christ was an intricate part of the recovery process. She further suggested, if you are a believer, dig deep and find what God is trying to teach you in this, instead of asking why and feeling sorry for yourself. Here are some additional suggestions from Kimberly. Mend all your relationships. Surround yourself with media, music, and people who are positive and bring you joy and laughter. If you need to make a job, change it. Do it. If you need to find new friends, do it. If you need to change your responsibilities and schedule, do it. Tip number 5, deal with muscle tension. Muscle tension dysphonia is a vocal issue characterized by excessive amount of muscle tension anywhere in the vocal mechanism. The golden treatment standard for muscle tension dysphonia is voice therapy, during which you learn new ways of producing sounds without constriction and tension. However, there are other ways of releasing muscle tension. One of them is working with a physiotherapist. Kimberly received 12 weeks of physical therapy, twice per week. After 2 weeks of therapy, and daily exercises, she experienced tension release for the first time after a long time. Additionally, she eliminated activities that increased muscle tension and started to include relaxation activities in her daily routine, such as walking and yoga. Kimberly says, meditation is a must. And I agree with her. As I said, MTD is a complex issue, and sometimes working with many different specialists over time may bring more and more relief from the symptoms. Bonus tip: get vocal massage. In addition to physiotherapy, you can try vocal massage offered by specially trained practitioners. Kimberly's physical therapist practiced myofascial release therapy of the head, neck, shoulders, and chest, and she couldn't get enough of this treatment. Also, vocal self-massage that Kimberly learned in my online training was the final piece in her journey to a better voice. I made a video with a short demonstration of laryngeal massage. You can check it out by clicking this link, and I will also post a link to it below this video. Okay, that's all for now, but stay tuned because I am sharing 5 more tips on how to overcome muscle tension dysphonia in my next video. Subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification icon to get notified when my next video is out. Until then, check out my other videos on the topic of MTD right here below. Until next time, bye!